Owls are well known for their wisdom and those huge eyes that are enough to scare anyone away. But are you aware that even owls are found in different types and species? We all have always been familiar with the owls in our storybooks and novels. However, we barely know anything about them except for the fact that they are wide awake at night and like to hunt mice and are mortal enemies with crows. But that's a whole different story. Today, discover a bit more of one special species of owls, the Stygian owl, or as some might call it, the devil's owl. For starters, a Stygian owl's color is dusky, which is a pretty conventional color similar to any other owl. It is a medium-sized owl that has an awful bunch of characteristics that make it look strange and rather creepy. The Stygian owl has bright yellow eyes, a black beak, and a pair of weird white eyebrows. Its scientific name, Stygius, refers to hell, as the word Stygian literally means related to the river Styx. It also means something which is a bit dark and dismal. While we're on the subject of its name, we might as well tell you an obnoxious fact about the river Styx. As per Greek mythology, the souls of the dead were supposed to cross the river Styx to reach the underworld. Now, you know the actual darkened meaning of the Stygian owl's name. Moving forward, as far as its habitat is concerned, the Stygian owl majorly prefers to live in the vastly spread deciduous and evergreen forests or any other open areas with patches of forests. It is known to live at an elevation of approximately around 3,100 meters above sea level. The owl is widely distributed, with its existence spreading across eastern and southern Mexico to Central America. The species can also be found on the islands of Cuba, the Isle of Pines, northwest Venezuela, eastern Colombia, central Ecuador, central and southern Brazil, eastern Bolivia, Paraguay, and Argentina. The morphological features of the Stygian owl are the most distinctive. The upper parts of the owl are dark brown in color, whereas the underparts are much paler. The midsection and the back are also pale-colored with a scattered web of feathers. The short toes have extremely minimal feathers with dark, blackish tips. It also has a sooty brown-colored tail, which is a bit difficult to be spotted amidst the countless number of feathers on its back. That's not all. The owl also has a black-colored facial disc, which is quite evidently visible even from a distance. Being a medium-sized owl, the size of the Stygian owl usually ranges from 38 to 46 centimeters, with an approximate wing length of about 291 to 380 millimeters. The tail of the Stygian owl is roughly around 165 to 198 millimeters in length. The weight of the owl can be anywhere around 675 to 691 grams. Statistically speaking, it is often observed that the female Stygian owls are larger and heavier as compared to the male Stygian owls. Another prominent feature of the Stygian owl is its long and erectile ear tufts that give it a perceived elongated look. Talking about the nature and behavior pattern of the Stygian owl, the animal is mostly nocturnal and prefers to stay active during the nighttime. During the day, it follows a sedentary lifestyle and roosts in the dense vegetation. However, it mostly prefers comparatively open vegetation and areas with a certain amount of patchiness to it. The flight of the Stygian owl is slower as compared to other owl species, as its wings flap at a slower pace. This is one of the major reasons why the Stygian owl does not like flying as much and only covers short distances while flying. The owl has a strangely unique habit of straightening its ear tufts whenever it senses potential danger or threats. In normal circumstances, the ear tufts are almost invisible and impossible to spot for the naked eye. According to various folklore and mythologies, the Stygian owl has been given the status of the devil due to its ear tufts, dark color, and a scary appearance overall, but most particularly the brilliant red reflection of the eyes when illuminated by lamps. However, the original color of the Stygian owl's eyes is yellow, but the light rays seem to affect the color quite drastically, and it appears as if the owl has a giant pair of red devil-like eyes. This is probably the single most terrifying and horrific feature that an animal can have, especially so if the animal is an owl with large eyes enough to scare even predators away. So now you know that it is pretty rightfully referred to as a devil and looks borderline diabolical in nature too. So much about how the owl looks and where it lives, but what about its feeding habits? What does it prey on? The Stygian owls usually prey on bats, small birds like doves, small mammals, reptiles, amphibians, crustaceans, and small insects. The vast population of Stygian owls that live in southeastern Brazil prefers to feed on smaller birds like the grassquit and other passerines. The owl identifies these birds while they are resting on their perches at night. Whatever the Stygian owl hunts and eats, the entire process is believed to take place during the night. As far as their nesting needs are concerned, the Stygian owls lay their eggs in another bird's nests. Although, in rarest of rare cases, the owl can also nest on the ground like one of its fellow owl species, the short-eared owl. The female usually lays 2 eggs and incubates them all by herself. Despite the female taking care of the eggs alone, both the male and female are responsible for feeding their young offspring. During the initial days of the courtship period, the male is observed to be clapping his wings under his body during flight. As opposed to the bright yellow-colored eyes of the adults, the juvenile owls have deep blue-colored pupils. The worldwide status of the Stygian owl keeps on changing with the gradual course of time. However, as of now, the IUCN Red List has placed the Stygian owl under the category of least concern. There are no exact statistics when it comes to the population of the Stygian owl, but repeated persecution by humans has contributed majorly to the unnatural deaths of these owls. Several authorities and governments have come forward time and time again to take action against these fraudulent activities. Tell us what you think of this devilish-looking beautiful beast in the comment section below. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing beasts. Until then, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.